What do family camping trips reveal about systems? Family camping trips and systems hardly seems like a exciting topic, but I want to welcome you to Woody Head. Woody Head is about an hour and a half south of Byron Bay, where I live. And we're down here with a whole bunch of families. There's a whole bunch of my daughter's friends' families here. And it is just a great experience to get away, go camping. There is some receptivity in terms of being able to go live from here. But essentially there's no Wi-Fi, there's no PlayStations, there's none of the regularly engaged activities that go on for my kids a lot of the time on the weekends. So I'm having a pretty good time, but we ran into some problems. And if you've been camping before, you might well have had similar experiences. And that is the forgotten tools, the forgotten items list. Now, we had two big ones this time. Number one, sleeping bags. Now, sleeping bags are a bit of a problem, but luckily it is coming into summer. It's pretty hot at the moment, so we will see how it goes. But right now we brought 2 out of 5. And we'll come back to that. Second place is the hammer. The hammer to hammer in those pesky pins, those nail things that hold the whole tent down. Not such a big deal. There's plenty of families around. If we were more remote or if we didn't know anyone, well, it would be an opportunity to meet a friend and get their hammer. So not an incredibly difficult one, that one. That was easily resolved. But the sleeping bags caused some problems. So last night, my eldest son hijacked the bed with the sleeping bag and pissed off my middle son, and this caused some shenanigans at about 3:40 in the morning. But we got through it, and this could have been avoided if we'd brought the sleeping bags. So the question is, why did the sleeping bags get forgotten? Well, let's have a look at the camping system as it stands at the moment. So pretty much each time we go camping, we load everything out of the designated camping zone storage area, which is in a 20-foot shipping container. We don't have that much stuff. It's got a bunch of other stuff in that 20-foot shipping container, but there's an area where all the camping stuff goes. Now, for whatever reason, most likely had a bunch of friends over and they used the sleeping bags. The sleeping bags migrated from the shipping container into the house and were left there. Now, this meant that when all of the camping gear was loaded up, those sleeping bags were not. And so we headed off without the sleeping bags. Now, I'll throw in another factor here, which is that my wife and I had had a massive fight the day before we were set to go camping. Now, this meant none of the usual prep work was actually getting done at all. So usually I'd be like, okay, let's get a checklist. Let's make sure we've got everything. I'm pretty sure I have that checklist in the computer somewhere. Print that out, run through and go, yep, we've got sleeping bags. Yep, we got this. We got the hammer. We got the tomato sauce. We got everything that we've forgotten every other time. Great, we're ready to go. Now, notice that the disagreement, the argument, basically threw me off from doing that work. And I'm like, you know what? Stuff it. I don't care right now. I don't give a flying F about any of this stuff. So I'm not going to do the work. We'll just manage as we can. So I, as a chief participant in the system, have checked out. And this may happen to you in business as well. Like someone who's meant to be doing something just fails. They refuse to do it. And it's like, well, that needs to have a discussion about it. For me, being the father in my family, I got to have a discussion with myself about the consequences that I face in camping because I allowed my mood to transcend my ability to make sure that the family was cared for. So that's definitely a factor. Who is doing the system is a factor. Secondly, we've got the system itself. So the sleeping bags migrated out of the 20-foot container. They didn't go back there. That is the second aspect of the system. So you've got to have trust in the rules of the system. What are the rules that must be in place in order to trust the system? I.e., if the sleeping bags get moved out, then they go back into the container. This means that the system can be trusted. However, I'd also bring in that on mission critical systems, like things that make a big difference in your business or to a camping trip, should be double checked. There should be a final checklist where it's like, yep, we've got that, we've got that, we've got the tent, we've got the stove, we've got the esky, we've got the ice, we've got the food, we've got the knives, we've got the forks, we've got the fry pans, we've got the spoons, the bowls, the plates, we've got the beds, we've got the pillows. All of those things plus more needed to be checked off. Now that was not done. So we've got a whole bunch of interesting factors here. Luckily, this is not the first camping trip that I've done. And so there is a lot of previous experience, previous mistakes that have been made that meant that when we go to the shipping container, most of the stuff made it. But this time I want to take from it and say, okay, I must take responsibility the night before to make sure that that checklist is printed off. And I am the one responsible for checking off and saying, yep, as we drive out, we got everything? Yep, we got everything. So they're the lessons. They're the lessons here out of this camping experience. And once you get this systems mindset, what you will discover is that there are systems lessons everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. It's like, oh wow, what happened there? How did that error happen? You see, the mistakes that happen that create results that you don't want just mean that the system is incorrect or the system wasn't followed. In this case, the system wasn't followed and therefore we didn't have the sleeping bags on our trip. I hope you're seeing the insights here about how systems thinking can make your life a whole lot better and make you a whole lot more money in business. All right, thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm going to go head back to my family, go hang out, play some soccer on the beach, maybe do some fishing. Looks like we got a storm rolling in, so it's looking like an action-packed afternoon and evening. I hope you're having a great day. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to create results. See you then.